Good morning. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. Coach Rich in the house. Man, we're gonna have some fun today. As always, today we're gonna warm up with a little bit of leg pivot lunge, and I'm gonna throw in a little pulse action with that pivot to really kind of warm the legs up, warm up our core temperature a little bit. But then after that, we're almost gonna go all upper body work. So we're gonna be doing a bunch of pushes, some single arm presses, some narrow push-ups, some iso tricep work, all right? And then at the end, we're gonna be doing some single arm racked tall kneeling to standing combos to again, build some strength through our core, as well as some good shoulder stability work. And then, as always, we're gonna throw in a bunch of core too. All right, so we're gonna get all the stuff. But before we get into that, let's get this thing going. Let's just chop the feet a little bit. I'm gonna mix it up on us today. Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up on us. Let's hit a couple of jumping jacks this morning. A couple of jumping jacks. Let's hit 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you got a little space, give me a little shuffle. If you have a little space, give me a little shuffle. Just working from side to side, feeling good. And as you're shuffling, if you still have some space, swing your arms kind of forward and back across your chest. So I'm kind of moving from side to side as my arms are kind of coming across and then open, across and then open. And then we're gonna come back and we're just gonna warm up the hips a little bit. So we're gonna do some open steps to both sides, nothing crazy here. You don't even gotta go that low into a lunge. I just want you to work on that kind of drop step, work on that external rotation of your hips there a little bit. Let's hit a couple more, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do a similar deal, but come across our body. So you're gonna step forward, but you're gonna go across the front. So we would call this some hip internal rotation, so a little bit different. But you know, again, you're not going super low. You're just kind of working into that range of motion, sinking into it, loading up your hip there a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Coming down, half kneeling position. We're gonna do some big gliding reaches. So I'm gonna drive my belt buckle towards you. I'm gonna reach up, big stretch, and then coming down. Drive straight forward. Whatever knee is down, you're gonna squeeze that downside glute. So you got a little bit of engagement here through your core, so that when you go up and forward, you're not compressing your lower back. So we just wanna drive the front of the hip forward. Feel a stretch through the hip flexor, through the abdominals here a little bit. Get a nice big reach, and then come back. One more. And then let's do that same thing on the other side. My right knee is down, my left leg is out in front. I'm gonna squeeze my right glute. I'm gonna drive my hip straight forward. Big reach coming over my head, and then back. So you're just driving your hip straight forward without excessively arching your low back. Really important. You guys know I talk a lot about that in particular because it matters. If it didn't matter, I wouldn't address it near as often. But that is a super common sticking point for most folks. All right, coming down to the ground, we're gonna go from a high plank into a couple pigeons here. If you don't got a pigeon, you're gonna do the 90-90. So good high plank position, throw your leg up and underneath. Your chest is up, good posture. Lead out in front, stretch, come back, switch. So going back to high plank, leg coming up and underneath, reaching forward and out. Come back, back to high plank. And we're just gonna alternate this one a couple of times here, making sure that we get a good stretch in our hip, so our back pocket. So I'm gonna demo one from this side. So when I get to here, we just want to make sure we're not going down this way, but we're trying to lead our chest forward out in front while we're trying to shove our butt behind a little bit. All right, next one here, guys. I'm just going to grab a mat and we're going to go into a little froggy here. So frogs, knees are coming nice and wide. I'm going to line up my knees with my heels. I'm going to come down to my forearms. And then I'm gonna drive my hips straight back. You wanna keep a little bit of tension through your abs here. So you don't wanna be arching your back at all. I'll rotate this way real quickly. So my knees are about as wide as I can get them. And then we're gonna add a little bit of a rotation here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring one arm underneath my body, and then I'm gonna use my front hand here to push back. So I put one hand out in front as I go back, and then I reach underneath with the opposite arm. So reaching underneath. So we're getting some good thoracic spine rotation, as well as working into our adductors, our groin here. Always important stuff. Alrighty, last one. We're gonna come onto our backs here. We're gonna do a couple leg lowers. So I'm gonna bring both legs up in the air. I'm gonna grab just above my knee. I'm gonna hold on nice and tight as I lower my opposite leg. Let's do 5 in a row. When I'm in this position, I'm trying to drive my top heel up towards the ceiling, and I'm trying to lower my other calf all the way down to the ground. Last one, and then switch. Get a nice good exhale. Drive the top heel up towards the ceiling. One more. Good. And then just for good measure, just a couple little knee rotations, going side to side a couple of times, just loosen some things up. Once you feel good, let's get up to our feet and let's get ready to do some work. So the first thing we're gonna be doing, this is a pulse pivot lunge. So a pulse pivot lunge, moving into the sagittal plane. So that means we're just gonna be moving forward and back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come into a forward lunge. I'm gonna come up, down, push back. Come down, up, down, push back. So you're doing a pulse action when you hit that forward lunge, and then as well when you hit the reverse. So the whole set, my left leg is gonna stay stationary. So I'm gonna come forward, 1, 2, push back. 1, 2, push forward. 1, 2, push back. 1, 2, push forward. So you hit that forward lunge, you hit a pulse. You pivot into your reverse lunge, hit a pulse, moving forward and back. We're gonna do 4 of those on the right leg, and then 4 of those on the left leg. Then we're gonna lay on our back sides, and we're gonna be going 16 toe touches. 1 rep counts as forward and back. So it's like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And then you'll switch sides. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And then we'll do our toe touch for 16. Alrighty? So we're gonna go AMRAP style on this one. So I'm gonna set a running clock for 5 minutes, and you're gonna move through these 3 exercises as quickly as you can. So pivot lunge on the right with the pulse, pivot lunge on the left with the pulse, into the toe touch. You're gonna work as hard as you can while maintaining good form. If you need to make it a little bit harder, definitely grab a little bit of a weight for that pivot lunge. I'm gonna go body weight, just so you know what I'm doing. So there's not gonna be any prescribed reps. So as quickly or as slowly as you wanna get this going, do that. 5 minutes on the clock here, guys. We're gonna start with that pivot lunge pulse. Bang, 10 seconds and we're starting. So I'm gonna begin with my left foot not moving. So I'm gonna be stepping forward and back with my right leg. Ready? Here we go. So we're going forward, hit a pulse, bang, push all the way back. Hit a pulse. All right, so that was 1, pop it back. 2, 3, 4, and right when I'm done, I'm just gonna switch legs and go right into it. Ha. 2, ooh, this is starting to warm up already. 3, 4, good. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna make my way to the ground, and we're gonna be doing those toe touches. So toe touches, my legs are gonna be up in the air. I'm trying to reach up and touch my toes. Woo! exercise is very hard to talk through. I was trying to say something and the words just weren't coming out. I apologize. All right, we're back to it. So the reps all stay the same, 4-4, 4-4, and then 16. So we're back at the top, working that pivot lunge with the pulse, working on your range of motion, and you're trying to move from that forward position after the pulse in one motion all the way back to that reverse lunge without pausing in the middle. So you gotta be kind of powerful as you hit that transition step. You gotta do a good job of maintaining some core control to provide your body with a little bit extra balance. Ah, it feels good. And then we switch up. Bang, bang, pop through. 1, 2, pop through. 1, 2, pop through. This would be an exercise where you could absolutely add some weight to. You could hold some weights at your sides, or you could bring them up into the front rack position. Either way, that's gonna get you going pretty good. I lost count, I'm gonna do one more. Anytime you lose count, that's a penalty. That's the deal, that's a penalty. You gotta do another one. You never short yourself, all right? You might give yourself a couple extra, but never shortchange yourself. Alrighty, legs are coming up, sitting up, get them toes. If you can't hit the toes, hit your shoelaces. If you can't hit your shoelaces, hit your socks. If you can't hit your socks, wear some longer socks and pull them all the way down so it makes it easy to touch. But point being, have a target. Go up and get that target every single time. Ha, oh, hey, ooh, one more. Ha. All right, I'm feeling good. I'm warming up already. This is good, this is good. All right, now I'm gonna go back, try to get one more set in here, warm up my whole core temperature, warm up my body a little bit. If you find yourself struggling with your balance at all, take a smaller lunge. Don't go quite so far. So if you need to, take a smaller step. Do a smaller dip, that's fine. If you wanna make it harder, take a larger step. Increase that range of motion. All right, but find something that's gonna challenge you appropriately. So that's what we're always trying to find in these style sessions, is I want you guys working to that level that's gonna force your body to adapt, right? To make the right physiological changes so that you keep progressing, which is a tricky thing, right? So we're always kind of flirting with that transformational zone of, hey, am I going too hard to the point where I might hurt myself, or am I working hard enough, right? So if I'm not working hard enough, then maybe I'm not getting the returns, the gains on this whole thing. And there's gonna be some workouts where that's fine. Or we're just trying to go through the motions. We're just trying to maintain consistency. And that's fine too. 10 seconds here, guys. Finish up what you got. Coach is gonna have a quick sip. Feeling good. Alrighty, y'all, alrighty. So, we should be feeling nice and warmed up. If you have a band, you're gonna bust out your band. We're gonna be doing a wide stance row. So if you have the band that has like the dual handle, you'll have to set up a little bit differently. If you have the big loopy style band, here's what you're gonna do. And then I'll show you another alternative if you have no band at all. If you got the big loopy band, what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna step on it like this. So I'm gonna put my foot through the loop and I'm gonna get my stance nice and wide like this. From here, I'm gonna choose one side to work on. So I'm gonna come towards you. I'm gonna drop my right forearm into my thigh. I'm gonna grab both bands right in the middle here. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna hit a good row. 1, 2, 1, 2, all right? So if you have those big, the band with the dual handle, loop the handles together and create one big loop, and then you can still do it like this. If you don't have a band, that's fine. You're just gonna grab your dumbbell or your kettlebell, and you're gonna set up in the same position and you're gonna pull the straight weight. All right, so if you have the band, use the band. If you don't have the band, that's fine. These sets are gonna be 25 seconds long, nice and smooth controlled reps. You should be hitting somewhere between 10 and 15. If you get to the end of that 25-second long set and you're like, man, I probably could have done 10 more, your resistance is too light. You should probably have 3 to 4 more reps in the tank. And that would probably be a good weight for you, good resistance for you. When we're done with that, you're gonna grab your weight that you want to press over your head. And I'm gonna demo this one with the weight in my right hand. If it's in my right hand, I'm gonna step back with my right leg. So once I'm here, I'm gonna reverse lunge. I'm gonna drop all the way to my knee. I'm gonna press, I'm gonna re-rack, stand. So we're gonna do our press at the bottom in the half knee position, rack, stand. And then we'll do that same pattern on the left side. Bell will be in the left, stepping back with the left, pressing at the bottom of the rep. Okay? So that's gonna be our first main piece. We're gonna do a set on the right and a set on the left with the row, and then we're gonna go right, left, reverse lunge, overhead press at the bottom. Cool? 4 rounds, 4 exercises, 25 seconds per exercise. Man, let's work hard, let's have some fun, all right? Let's do the do. Let's do one more sip here. Alrighty, y'all, we're gonna start with our row, okay? So I'm gonna use the band. If you have the band, go ahead and use it. If you got a dumbbell, go ahead and use that. But get your stance spread fairly wide. Drive your forearm into your thigh. Give me a good pull. At the top of the pull, a little pause. Pull hard, little pause, come down with control. Just like all of our row work, think about maintaining a good posture through your spine, so no rounded backs. Making sure you're feeling your shoulder blade rounding around the back of your rib cage and then pulling up towards your spine at the top of that thing. All right, I'll switch up, get in this position here. My stance is gonna be nice and wide. Maybe I'll come from like this. You can see me here a little bit. I want you to see what's happening with my shoulder blade. So you see my shoulder blade coming down and then back up. All right, so I'm down here. I'm keeping my posture nice and flat over the ground. I'm driving my elbow back for my hips. I'm going back this way. I'm not trying to go up into the front of my shoulder. So as I pull, I'm driving my elbow back here by my thigh. A little pause at the top of the rep, down with control. Pause at the top of the rep, down with control. All right. So move that band out of the way. We're gonna rack our weight. And let's go left side first. I'm a big advocate of doing my slightly weaker side first, building up the weak spots here. The weight's on my left. We're gonna step back with the left leg. Tension in the free hand. Rest the knee to the ground. Press it overhead. Re-rack it. Drive up. Drop all the way down. Press it. Re-rack it. Drive up. If you are a full hard body, here's your next level. You step back, you lower the knee all the way to the ground, but don't touch. Hit your press at the bottom, and then stand up. Ooh, quite a bit harder, quite a bit harder. Depends what your goal is. If you want a little bit more of a cardiac output burn, then definitely don't rest your knee down. If you want more legs, don't rest your knee down. If you want to build a little more upper body strength, rest your knee. All right, so I'm gonna go down with my knee, because my focus today, I want to be a little bit more upper body focused. So I'm gonna rest my knee on the ground. I'm gonna create a lot of stability once I get to the half kneeling position. I'm gonna squeeze my downside glute. I'm gonna keep my core tight. I'm gonna exhale as I stand up. Free hand, I'm gonna make a fist. Awesome. Good stuff, guys, good stuff. All right, that was one round, nice and easy. So we do 4 rounds, and part of the reason that we do 4 is because I want you building up some good metabolic fatigue and stress on these muscles, but gives you an opportunity to decide, hey, I need to go up in weight, I need to stay the same, or I need to go down. So you get plenty of chances to make sure you're working at the right level. Here we go. Ha! We're going into those rows. Drive your elbow back for your hip. I'll get in this shape here. So I'm pulling my elbow back for my hip. I'm trying to keep my chest parallel over the top of the floor here. Elbow coming back, thinking about my shoulder blade moving towards my spine. So we're always being intentional with our movement. Good work, good work. I'm gonna rotate this way a little bit. I got my stance super wide, all right? Super wide with the stance. Use your legs, root your feet into the ground. Set your spine, grab your band right between the feet, all right? Chest up. When you pull, you're coming back, little pause at the top of the rep. Here we go. Reaching down, hard pull at the top. Reach, hard pull, good squeeze, pause at the top of the rep. Build some strength today, let's go. Yesterday was all about endurance. Today we're gonna build some strength. Come on, stay with me. Good work, good work, good work. All right, going to our reverse lunge into our half kneeling press, or hard bodies out there, that's split stance, split squat press. So you pick. Weights in my front rack, free hand, I'm gonna make a fist. Good tension through my core. Dropping down, lock in, press, re-rack, drive up. Nice and smooth here, nice and smooth. One of the reasons that we're doing this lunge combo with the press today is because sometimes the overhead press motion, this is one of the more challenging motions of the shoulder joint. So by maintaining that hold as we go up and down out of the lunge, we actually get a lot of good shoulder work, but we don't have to move the joint near as much. So it's a sneaky way of getting some extra work in, extra volume in, without putting extra miles on the actual shoulder joint. So you might be like, oh man, this is really kind of getting me going. And I only did, 4 or 5 reps, that's okay. You still had time under tension for that full 25 seconds, which is pretty cool. Stay with it. Good work, guys. Notice on my press when I go up, knuckles are staying pointed at the ceiling, palm is staying here, and then I'm rotating my palm as I press that weight up, never allowing my arm to drift too far away from my midline. So I'm gonna keep it rather tight as I go up, which is important in terms of maintaining some good alignment through our shoulders, but also, again, it's a safety thing. The further you go away from the midline, the more stress you're gonna put on that joint. Here we go, rows, let's go to work, come on. Coach was blabbing, I'm sorry. You know me, I get excited. I wanna get into my teachings. Y'all are here to work. Pipe down, coach. Let me do my reps. Quit playing around. Get off your soapbox. Good stuff, good stuff. Check my mic, looking good. All right, let's hit this row on the other side. Stance is wide. Active tension with that front side forearm. Drive that sucker into your thigh. Chest up, abs tight. Posture. Here we go. Pull, little pause at the top of the rep. Good reach at the bottom. Good pause at the top. Reach at the bottom. Pull and pause at the top. If you are pulling to the point where you get to the top of your pull and you notice the front of your shoulder starts rounding down, you've gone too far. So anytime you're doing a row, you want to draw the arm back as far as it'll go without the front of your shoulder doing this anterior rotation. So I'm going to pull back to about here before it starts dumping this way. All right, guys. Rack it up. Hip, hip. Reverse lunge. Press. Rack. Drive. Oh, yeah. So this is our third round through. You got this one and one more. So our intensity at this point should be near its peak. all right? We should be bringing it by now. You know exactly what we're doing. Now it's about working harder. Now it's about working harder. Goes without saying, you're not gonna mess with your form. Your form is gonna stay dialed in, but you're just gonna work a little harder, all right? Raise your level of intensity. Maintain your focus. Tension, here we go. 1. Every single rep you do should be better than the last. Every rep you do, that's the mindset I want you to have. No matter what exercise that it is, you're improving your technique. It's always an opportunity to get better. Not just stronger, but how well can you execute? Because that's the stuff that really matters. You know, 1 or 2 of these workouts, that's not gonna get you far. A whole year of these workouts, man, you're gonna be totally different. And you're only gonna get through a year of these workouts if your form is good. If you don't got good form, you're never gonna be able to move the weight you need to move to change your body, and you're likely to end up hurting yourself. So that's why we spend a lot of time talking about how to do these things the right way to get the most bang for your buck, all right? ROI, if you will. So we're spending all this time. Time is our most valuable resource. You know, you guys are spending all this time with me doing these things. So if you're gonna do it right. Get the absolute most out of it. And that starts being intentional with your movement and doing these things to the best of your ability and continually trying to improve upon your last effort. All right, 5 seconds and we're back to it. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Good pause, good squeeze. So our classic tempo is always gonna be down with control, up with speed, and then pausing at the top of the rep. So if I was to do this for real, this would be my tempo right here. As you can see though, when I get into this, it really restricts how much coach can talk to you. All right, rack those weights back up. All right, we're almost there. Oh, this is it. We're in our 4th round. We're almost done. Let's go to work. Let's finish strong. Let's go. Come on. Lock in tight. So this would be my working tempo right here. Nothing is sloppy. I'm trying to stay as smooth as possible without letting my form break down. I'll do one more working set so you can see what that looks like. Maybe I should have done that in my first set, but regardless, now you know. Now you know, rack it up. Last working set here. Let's go hard, good tension. Chest up, abs tight. All right, good stuff, guys, good stuff. Woo! That one got me worked a little bit. Have a little sip. All righty, so coming up next, this is all going to be triceps, chest, shoulders. We're gonna be starting off with some single arm work, some isometric tricep kickbacks. So we're gonna be locking in a good 1/1000 iso hold at the top of these kickbacks. Draw your elbow up. Lock out, hold, 1/1000 down. Hold, 1/1000 down. We're gonna go kick back on our right arm. Then we're gonna go kick back on our left arm. After the right and left, you're gonna grab a little heavier weight. We're coming down. We're gonna be going with a single arm press. 3-second eccentric, arm out to my side. 3, 2, 1, bang. 3, 2, 1, bang. We're gonna do one set on our right side, followed by another set on our left side. Lastly, we're gonna be going into a narrow elevated push-up. So I'm gonna use my bench here. I'm gonna have my arms come nice and tight next to my sides. And I'm gonna go into a super tight elevated push-up. And with those, we're gonna be going hard and fast. So on these, the sets are gonna be dropping in time for each exercise. So the kickbacks are gonna go 35 seconds, those 3-second eccentric presses, 25 seconds, then the narrow push-up for 20. 3 rounds, 35, 35, 25, 25, and then 20. Alrighty, let's have some fun. Let's work hard. You know how we do. Where are we at? Boom, there we go. 3-rounder, guys, 3-rounder. Starting with a tricep kickback, 1/1000 pause squeeze at the top of the rep. Let's get our backs nice and flat. Right, so we're over the top. Give me a good squeeze, hold, 1/1000 down. No momentum, 1/1000 hold, down. Ooh, this is gonna be heavy. How hard can you squeeze that tricep at the top of the rep? Almost there. Ooh, coach is getting quiet. 5 seconds. Good work, good work. Normally I would do this sequence in a little bit different order, but not today. Today I want to try to smoke your triceps as quickly as I can. And then force your other muscles to do the work. Here we go. Good 1/1000 pause squeeze. Lock out hard. Think about the back of your arm. Think about your tricep here. Try to get that arm totally straight. And then once it gets totally straight, hold it for a 1/1000 before you lower it down with control. After that, you're gonna kick it back out hard, down with control. Good job, guys. All right, now we're going to our press. With our press, 3 seconds on the way down. Free arm is out to the side. Ready? 3, 2, 1, bang. 3, 2, 1, bang. Arm falls in kind of to the slot. 45 degrees coming down. So it's not going directly out to the side. It's kind of falling in 45-degree angle. So it's not in tight. We got some daylight between our arm and our side. Good work. Switching sides. Locking that sucker in. I'm gonna rest it with 2 here. Ready, ready? Here we go. 3 count on the way down. 3, 2, 1, pow. 3, 2, 1, pow. 3, 2, 1. There's no rest at the top. And you're quickly coming right back out of it. Good job, guys, good job. So, last one here. We're doing our narrow push-up here. So I'm gonna turn my bench like so. My hands are narrow. I'm coming down. Arms need to stay in tight by our sides. This is only 20 seconds. Nice and smooth. All right, if your bench is just too low, you're gonna put your hands up on the wall and do this exercise on the wall. But you gotta find something that you can get some good quality reps in. All right, so that was it. Easy. Now let's do this thing again. Let's do it again. So if your weights felt a little hard, you might need to lighten them up. If they felt a little easy, you're gonna go a little heavier here. I'm gonna use my little guy. This cute little kettlebell here. 9-pounder, little baby. That's gonna be enough, because my triceps are already feeling pretty good. Here we go. Kickbacks, 1/1000. 1/1000 hold, down with control. 1/1000 hold, down with control. Even though this weight is super light, that's okay.
I'm being mindful of what I'm trying to do. I'm actively thinking about that muscle. I'm squeezing that muscle as hard as I can, so I'm really trying to establish that mind-muscle connection that we hear about. That's a real thing. That's one thing the bodybuilding community gifted us, all right? It's a real thing. So thinking about the muscles that you want to work, not just going through the motions. Good job, good job, good job. Woo. All right, let's switch sides. Backs are flat, draw the arm up, block out and squeeze. 1, 2, 1, 2. How hard can you squeeze that tricep at the top of the rep? Hold, 1/1000, down with control, right back out. So we're trying to get quality reps here. Quality reps. That tricep. How tight can you squeeze that tricep? Come on. Good job, guys, good job. And then we're moving on to our press. So with our press, remember on these 3 seconds on the way down, arm kind of falling in, 45-degree angle, free hand, make a fist. Coming down, bang, press it up. If you want to make this more of a core exercise, whatever side that you have the weight on, scooch your body off that side a little bit so that that shoulder blade is hanging off the side of your bench. I'm going to come back into the center because that's considerably harder. Good work, guys, good work. You. Switch it up, free hand, let's make a fist. Good tension here. Ready, ready? Here we go. Bringing it down, press it up. Bringing it down, 3 counts on the way down. Press that thing up as quickly as you can. Almost there. Woo! Good work, guys, good work. Narrow push-up coming up. Narrow push-up. This is the end of round 2. The end of round 2. Ready, ready? Here we go. Smooth, even stroke here. Elbows nice and tight, tucked in towards the sides. Nice and tight. Oh man, that's burning. Hang in there, guys. 5 seconds here. Woo! So even though our arms are going to be really narrow on that one, it's important to lead with your chest. So don't be coming down with those shoulders rounded here. Get those shoulders kind of pinched back. Lead with the chest, not the face. Okay, let's go one more time through. One more time through, starting with our tricep kickback. Good squeeze. Oh man, I'm feeling that thing. Got a little My Little Pony horseshoe back there. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Got kicked by a pony. Yeah. 1/1000 pause squeeze. Woo. Oh, I love it. Feels good. This is that burn that you want. Establish that good mind-muscle connection. Think about that thing. Focus. Lock in under that tension. If you need to, give it a half a second longer at the top of that thing. Make sure you're getting it. That's the takeaway here. Make sure you're getting that muscle. Let's go, other side. Ready? Let's go to work. Lock, squeeze. Smooth. You know Coach is thinking about when I can't talk. You know that I'm getting too far into this thing. We're almost there. Come on. 7 seconds, push. Woo! Oh, baby. Alrighty, y'all. Presses. Presses. 3 counts on the way down. 3, 2, 1, hop. This should be the easy one. So those kickbacks should have your triceps feeling pretty smoked. And this is like a little bit of a recovery exercise here. Still working the same muscle groups. You should be using a little bit heavier weight. Alrighty, one more set of these presses here, guys. Then we're gonna hit that narrow elevated push-up. 1, here we go, 3 count coming down, quickly coming up, no resting at the top. Focus on slowly lowering that weight, punching it up to the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Good job, good job, good job. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, narrow push-up real fast. Let's get this thing, arms in nice and tight. Let's go. Ooh, I'm burning. Woo! Got me. All right, guys, big finish here. Big finish, it's a 2-rounder. We got a racked kneeling to standing. And then from there, we're gonna be doing a wide-legged sit-up and then a plank. So on the tall kneeling to standings, those are gonna be 30 seconds long per side. The wide-legged sit-up, 40 seconds. Then we're gonna do a full 1-minute plank. Move my little bench out of the way. Boop, boop. All right, so what you're gonna be doing, I'll grab a little mat here. I got my mat. I'm gonna have one weight that I'm gonna kind of rack at my shoulder. So it's gonna be up in my front rack position. From here, I'm gonna come down to my knees and then all the way back up. And what I want you to do is alternate what leg that you're standing up with. Takeaway on this one, core position, no leaning to the side. Stay in square, brace in your core. Making sure both knees come to the mat, because that's gonna make that transition even harder and require more demands out of your core stability as you're transitioning from your knees up to your feet and then all the way standing. So we're gonna do that racked 30 seconds right, racked 30 seconds left, then laying on our back for our wide-legged sit-up, and then flipping over for our plank. Cool, cool? 2 rounds, all right, that's it. It's only 2 rounds, we can do this. Come on, let's go to work here. So, pick a weight. I'm gonna start on my left side, rack it at the shoulder. Here we go. I'm coming down, I'm coming back up with my left. Now I'm gonna go down with my right, down with my right, back up with my right, and then reverse it. Left, left, and then with my right. Don't let your shoulders tip to one side. Stay square. Think about your core. So how you go through that core bracing sequence when we do our marching. So these exercises with our marching or those heavy carries, same idea when we're doing this one. Alrighty, switching sides, same exercise. Chest up, posture, tension. Use your core here, use your core. Woo! Good work, guys. Wide-legged sit-up is coming up next. Your stance is nice and wide. If you need to, you're gonna start with your arms over your head like this, rolling up like that. You want to make it a little harder? Cross your hands over your chest like this. If you want to make it harder, put your hands behind your head. So level 1, level 2, level 3. Find the appropriate resistance. I think I'm going to be a number 2 guy today. Hands right across the chest. Making sure that when you're going up and going down, you're rolling yourself up, rolling yourself down. So I'm thinking kind of tucking my tailbone underneath my body as I'm rolling down, coming down one segment at a time. Plank time, guys, your favorite. 1 minute plank, high tension. Ready? Let's go to work. Let's squeeze our quads. Let's squeeze our butt. Let's squeeze our stomach. Let's breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. Focusing on tension through our core. Our legs are totally straight. All right, we're thinking about pulling our toes up towards our elbows. You're thinking about pulling your elbows down towards your toes, and you're actively contracting your core the entire time. Breathing is nice and even. You're maintaining tension on your stomach. We're halfway there. You're not letting your butt stick up in the air. You're not letting your butt sag down. You're staying flat like a board, one straight line from the back of your head down to your heels. Almost there, fourth quarter. Ooh, breathe and squeeze. Come on. 10 seconds. This is nothing. We could do this for another minute, you know that. 3, 2, 1. Nice job, guys, nice job. Ah, that got me to sweat a little bit. All right, final round. We're gonna do this thing one more time. We're gonna start with that front rack, tall kneeling to standing. Let's do a good job of keeping our shoulders nice and square, no leaning to the side. I'm gonna start with my left arm here, up in the front rack, high tension, free hand making a fist. Let's go to work. Ready? I'm leading with my right leg. Then when I come up, I'm gonna reverse the sequence with my opposite leg. So whatever leg that finishes, that's gonna start your next round. So I finish with my left, I go back with my left. Finish with my right, go back with my right. Almost there. Good stuff, good stuff. Chill out for a second, switching arms. Woo-hoo. Ah. Weights up in the front rack. Posture, tension. Ready? Here we go. How stable can you get? That's the name of the game here. Stability. Woo! Wide-legged sit-up. Man, we're almost there. 2 exercises to go. Let's smoke out this core here. Let's smoke it out. Stance is wide. Roll it up, roll it down. Level 1, throwing your arms. So using some momentum from your upper body. All right, that's gonna help you get up. If you're not getting up like this, what you can do is use a little bit of a weight. Start with it at your chest and then reach it forward. And that weight will kind of help pull you up. If that's good there, you might want to go arms crossed. Roll yourself down, roll yourself up, finish tall. Roll down, roll up, finish tall. This shouldn't be jerky, smooth, smooth. Ah! All right, final move. Plank. 1 minute long plank. Ah, we got this, guys. Come on. Let's go. Lock in tight. Your quads are tight. Your butt is tight. Your stomach is tight. You're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nothing is leaking into your back. You're holding this pose using your abdominals. You're driving your fists into the ground. You're pulling your toes towards your elbows. You're driving your elbows towards your toes. You're contracting your abdominals the entire time. You're breathing low into your belly. So the whole time that breath is happening, it's down low. You're squeezing your core like crazy. Almost there, guys. Fourth quarter, focus. It's only a minute, we got this. We got this, 10 seconds, hold it. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Yes! Let's stretch a little bit here, y'all. Way to go. Way to go. First one, let's just kind of lay on our bellies. Let's go into some of these cobra press-ups. Let's make sure we're gonna take that big breath first, and then we're gonna push to the heels of our palms, extending our chest and back up and away from the ground. So my hands are gonna start here. I'm gonna breathe into my belly. Exhale and come back down. If you need to make this a smaller stretch, move your hands further away from your head and your shoulders. You wanna make it bigger, bring them in tight. Shoulder blades back and down. Big breath in first. You might notice I do a little side to side when I get to the because a lot of times I'm kind of feeling for getting my spine in good alignment, so sometimes I need to tweak it from right to left, and that's okay. Just make sure you're getting that breath into your belly first. Last one. And then counter your move with little child's pose, sitting back. And I like to kind of grab my socks here. And then I'm gonna go diagonal across my body. And then flatten back out, hit a couple cat-cows. And then from those cat-cows, go into our half-kneeling flow. So some of these patterns you should notice that we do rather frequently. That's by design. I want a lot of these things to become second nature to you. So regardless if you're doing them before or after our trainings together here, or if you're going out for a run, if you're going out for a hike, a bike, if you're doing something mildly athletic, this is a great flow to take yourself through before or after any sort of activity, anytime you want to kind of loosen up your spine and loosen up your hips. So one of the reasons that we go through it in a fairly similar manner is because I want those repetitions to add up, and then you can perform them anytime you need a good warmer-upper